Happy Wednesday, everyone. Here we are with for healthy conversations, and as Bonnie Dixon here, and Glenn Grant is joining us from the wilderness of Kamloops, and um, and the topic today is going to be eye health. And Bonnie, I'm gonna probably step out of the studio, but Bonnie, you can explain what you've been doing.
Okay. Thank you, Greg. So, my name is Bonnie McDonald Dixon, and I've been writing a column now for a couple years for the Merit Herald. But prior to that, I was in the natural products industry for, since 1989. And in doing that, I hanging out with a lot of really cool people who love to help people naturally with their bodies. And what I thought I'd focus on, because we're at the kind of the beginning of the year, is our eye health, so we can see the year clearly. And one of the things is we might take our eyesight for granted. Our eyes are so precious. They are just so precious. And you wouldn't know the loss unless you literally for a day tried to keep your eyes closed doing things and suddenly you realize, well, that's not so easy, is it? Now, people do lose their eyesight and can cope with it, or they're born without eyesight and they do cope with it. But it's a whole different lifestyle. So, right now, today, I'm just sharing with you a few tips to how you can take care of your precious eyes. And ask yourself the question, can I see well? Do I see well? It's a pretty simple question. And it's just, like I said, a huge role in how we experience life. Think of all these things: driving, going to the store, just taking a walk in the neighborhood, walking around your own whole house, you know. And your mom or grandmother used to say, eat your carrots, they're good for your eyes. But why is that? What's in there? Well, as they're orange, any of the brightly colored vegetables, oranges, sweet potatoes, red bell peppers, beets, anything brightly colored has something called proanthocyanidins in there. That's a long word. But many of them, like carrots, have beta carotene. And the body is so wise, it takes beta carotene and turns it into vitamin A. And that's an essential nutrient for the eye. Now, other nutritional things are fish oil. Fish oil really helps with the eye health as well. It reduces inflammation. It's a very good nutrient for the eye. Vitamin D is essential for eye health. There's many nutritionals for health, and there's a lot of good nutritionals out there specific to health. You can go in and talk to your pharmacist, or you can go do a little research on eye nutrition. But you can get one just specific for that if you want. Vitamin C, this is really interesting. Vitamin C, uh, say up in the Arctic, why do natives, the Inuit, eat the eyeballs of the seals? Because it's high in vitamin C. That is where a lot of our vitamin C stores, is in the eye, and that is an antioxidant. So oranges are pretty easy to get that. Any berry is high in vitamin C. You can take a chewable vitamin C. You can take a pill vitamin C. We like a drink vitamin C called Emergency. And some other interesting foods that are helpful are avocados, because that's vitamin E. And that, again, is another one of the great antioxidants and a beneficial fat to protect the eyeball from oxidative stress. And I love, again, let's see, what else do we have? Oh my gosh, water. Water. Hydration is key to eye health. Key to eye health. They can be dry, get irritated. I find, and I do this morning and night, taking a washcloth and putting it in hot water, warm water, and placing it over the eyes is very hydrating. I do that morning and night. That helps keep them lubricated. You can also use eye drops that are natural, not with all the gunk in there, but they do have natural eye drops. And so take regular breaks from the screen. Oh my goodness. Blink often, and look away from the screen, blink several times, look around the room, and then come back to the screen. So it's interrupting this total vision on the screen and camera. And when you go out, now I have blue eyes, wear sunglasses. It is very protective of the eyes, and it protects it from the UV rays. And do that year round. I always keep a set in the car and a set in my purse. And then, modern medicine can be very helpful. As many people grow older, they have cataracts form. And when they do, they can have those taken care of. Now, let me tell you, prevention is way better and kinder and less costly than having the surgery. I will admit, I did have cataract surgery. For me, it did not go well. It took about 8 months to be able to get my good eyesight back. But I had help along the way, and the help was something that is pretty amazing. And we're going to bring Glenn on to the our screen, my guest today, and he's going to share an experience about his eyes. And so let's see if we can get Greg. There's Glenn. Glenn, I just want to thank you for coming on today. Glenn's a buddy of ours, and we meet up for lunch here and there. And he had an experience with a modality of healing that really helped him. And I just wanted him to come on today to share a little bit about what happened to him and how he was helped. And he is, I'd say, Glenn and I are in our 3/4 time of life, but we're very, very young at heart, and we feel better now than we did even a few years ago. And we can see better than we did a few years ago. So with that, I'm going to hush up. And Glenn, would you share your amazing journey with your eyesight?
Well, sure. And thank you for inviting me, Bonnie. And eyesight, yes, is very, very important. And during my duration of working, I'm an oil field consultant. I ended up with very bad eyes from perspective of being dry, bloodshot, runny, and didn't matter what I used for ointment or whatever for my eyes, it didn't seem to help. I run across a health and wellness program that utilizes a different technology that uses a patch therapy. Nothing enters the body, but it does cure or heal, not cure. And so I used that protocol. I put patches on both temples right here. And instantly, it resolved my issue. And I used them for a couple of times. And then since that time, I really never had an issue. I hardly ever put anything in my eyes anymore. And it just seems to be, it's a fantastic thing. It works. So I'm excited about it. And I would never quit using that technology for other things as well. So yeah, that's where it's at. Now I've gone to a little bit different therapy. I've used that scenario with a different type of patch, and it's actually clearing up my eyesight. So I'm pretty excited about that one too. So yes, wouldn't change it, Bonnie. Wouldn't change it for the world.
Wow, Glenn, just think about that. Going from having a rough time with your eyesight to feeling great about looking around the world. It gives us a whole quote perspective, doesn't it, Glenn?
Well, it's an eye opener because I have always been on the impression that pills, 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 and this is a natural scenario. So I'm completely pumped about that because I don't like putting chemicals in my body. So yes.
Right, right. And the other thing is, not only is your eyesight, getting better, but you're looking pretty good for quote your age.
Well, I don't mind telling people because I'm excited. In May, I turn to be 80. And using
Woohoo!
this technology, I don't feel like I'm 80. I actually feel like I'm 50. I can actually literally run up a staircase. I literally run up it, and I've never used the hand railing. So that's got me pretty pumped, Barney.
That is pretty exciting. I do know one thing with healthy conversations. We want to ask ourselves, especially this time of year, the beginning of the year, I think, Glenn, it's a good time to reassess all that we're doing for our health. There's that funny saying, gosh, if I'd known how long I was going to live, I would have took better care of myself. But it doesn't matter when you start taking care of yourself. You can start today at whatever quote age you are, or whatever, however, if you're overweight, or if you're smoking, or if you're, drinking too much alcohol, or if you're using illegal drugs, any of it can be changed. And it doesn't have to be overnight, but just over time. And sometimes we need that helping hand, don't we, Glenn?
Yes, and when I got involved with this technology, um, it excited me because our society is changing. If you watch everything with AI, except that the world is traveling very, very fast. So my opinion of that is, why not for health as well? And that's why I went this road, because there is alternatives to our present status of thinking that what you can do to help your health. So that's why we went that road.
I agree. I think it's not all or nothing, it's all in something. And we can have the benefit in case we, break a leg, or we're in a dire state. We can accept modern medicine. But usually for long haul, we want to do everything we can a la naturel. And the reason is, it's kind of like the body knows what to do if we give it the tools. You often think of, how did that person live to be 100? Tomorrow night, we're going to go to hear some music with Greg, and he plays every Thursday. And there's a woman there, Mary Ann, and she is 90. She'll be 97. She walks without canes. She talks clearly. She can hear you. She'll play. There's this game, shuffleboard. Oh my gosh, she'll whoop your butt. And the thing is, I think her claim to fame, I was asking her, is she just enjoyed life. She raised four boys. She always enjoyed music. She did all the person has to do, but I think she takes it easy. She eats simply. She's not overweight. She's quite trim. She dresses to the nines. So she literally takes care of everything. And I'm so impressed. So it's fun. The next time you have a chance, ask your friend who's an elder, what did they do to help take care of themselves? So, Greg, if you could bring Glenn back on, I'd like to just finish off here. Glenn, thank you for sharing your story today, because it's so important that we all hear from many people of how we can take care of ourselves and the things we use to take care of ourselves, and that we see people at all ages, in this case, 69 and almost 80. Or did you just have your birthday?
Oh, in May. In May.
Okay, so 69 and 79, and we're both still vibrant and doing things and having fun and enjoying life and helping others. And there's not much else to it. And with that, I'd like to ring off today for healthy conversations. And next week, we're starting in on Heart Month, a few days early, and that's one of my favorite months, because we all have, by the way, many of us have genetics playing in, and we want to play to the genetics. We want to not trigger those genetics to cause something. So for our family, lots of heart. In fact, 50% of US and Canadians may have heart issues. And so that's one of the things I love to take care of, and we're going to discuss that next week. So with that, thank you again, Glenn, and thank you, Greg, for hosting this. And we'll see you next week on Healthy Conversations.
Take care.
I just want to say one more thing before we go. Or actually, Glenn, do you want to say something?
No, that's fine. No.
Yeah, no,
right.
We're the article that based on the behind this talk here today is at healthywealthycamper.com/eye care. You go check it out, and And also, Glenn and Bonnie and I are all LifeWave representatives, which is the patches that Glenn was talking about. And if you want to learn more, Glenn, what's the best way for people to contact you?
My email is Glenn, GLENNB as in Bob, Grant, 85 at gmail.com.
Glenn Grant, 85.
Glenn
B.
B as in Bob, Glenn B.
Glenn
Grant.
B.
2 N's on Glenn.
Yes, both Glenn and I have happily been working with the LifeWave company. Glenn, I think 4 years, and us 5 years. And we have found this to be Glenn's wife, Sandra, and then Greg and I. So that's 4 of us all use these incredible wearable wellness. So please feel free to contact Glenn or ourselves and find out more.
Oh, there's some fantastic stuff coming. People should not miss this because they're about to be very happily enlightened.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Glenn. We'll be enlightened. I love that.
Yes, that's right, Greg. That's
enlightened, yeah. Glenn, is that the spelling there correctly on the screen there? Yep.
Yes,
awesome.
you're good. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, well, we'll see you next week, and take care.
Bye-bye. Have a great week.